Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Masters Fantasy Show presented by MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. As always, I got the Masters crew here with me, the Doc, Dynasty Owl. What's up, guys? How you doing today?
Doing great.
Good.
Yep, beautiful day. We're back talking Dynasty football. Today we're going to be talking about wide receivers. If you're just tuning in, what we're doing here, this is a recent Dynasty draft, just finished up a couple days ago. Going to be taking a looking at some real current values in Dynasty leagues, what's going on. To me, this is the best version of an ADP you can get. With that said, let's jump right into this. Wide receivers at the top of the list. You guys go ahead because I seem to have misplaced my list.
So,
Yeah, go ahead, Al.
I don't even want to say this because it's going to sound like I hate the guy, and I truly don't. I'm a big fan. I love him. Loved him at Oklahoma. But I think CeeDee Lamb is kind of the most overvalued receiver right now, and it pains me to say because I think he's a phenomenal talent. I think his future is bright. But I just don't see him cracking, the elite top 5, receiving rankings for the next, few years still. And, guys like Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins, guys who are true elite fantasy receivers right now are all going after him. To me, that's just a little crazy. I'd rather have all the guys I just said over CD. But that being said, I still do love the player. But just from a fantasy perspective, I think he's being overdrafted right now.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. And as you guys know, I love CD as well. But yeah, for a guy that's on an offense with Gallup and Cooper and Zeke at running back too, it's not like he's gonna eat a ton of targets compared to some of these guys. So it is a little surprising, but yeah, I guess they're just betting on his value long term there. Kind of surprised Diggs and is that far down. I know it's not very far down, but I would have expected maybe first round for him just after what he did last season. Another one.
Guy
Yeah,
in
go
Diggs
ahead.
We've seen going for 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, little shock there.
Yeah.
I think the one that's sticking out to most of me here
Yeah.
is Chris Godwin sliding all the way down to the 4.5.
Yeah.
I think DJ Moore and Godwin both deserve to be slotted up a few spots. Definitely prefer those guys over T. Higgins, who went a few spots before them. So everyone's got different preferences, but that's how I feel about it.
Along the same lines there, too. To see Michael Thomas at 3.12 after being like 1.1 in a lot of startups last year, it's wild to see, but I also strongly disagree with it. I think he bounces back big time. I don't see how anybody could think. I know Breeze is gone, but, Jameis, we've seen what he does. He's just going to huck it to his receivers, and it doesn't really matter what happens. So he's going to get plenty of targets. So, if he's able to stay on the field, I'm shocked that he's there at 3.12. It's fascinating. That's a great value.
Yeah, look at some of these rookies all over the place, too, man. What a draft class that was last
year. Yeah.
Just got to bring that up again. These guys are sprinkled in everywhere. Running back, wide receiver.
Right.
Special talents, man. It's going to be interesting. A little fall from grace here I'm looking at. Kind of sad. Julio Jones all the way down at 6.7. Unfortunately, it's kind of that time. I think you're only going to see him dropping further and further from here. Moving on, this next screen popping up, this is going to be from around 7.4 to the 11.3 or so pick. Anybody here stick out to you guys?
I do like Michael Pittman there at 8.2. I think that's good value for a guy that could very well be the number 1 in Indianapolis. And he could be on the receiving end of a rejuvenated Carson Wentz as well. So I really like that one. Al, go ahead.
I'm gonna shout out my guy Tyler Lockett. He's a guy I have, and I've been trying to trade him. No one wants him, but with Russ, staying in Seattle, with Tyler Lockett signing that extension to stay in Seattle. This is a guy who finishes as a wide receiver 1 more often than not recently. I think he was wide receiver 7 last year. He's about 28, 29 years old, so long-term not great, but for the next 3 years, he still could be, low-end wide receiver 1, high-end wide receiver 2, and to get him all the way down, at the end of the 7th round, probably the 20 to 30th receiver off the board at this point. I think there's a ton of value there, although it might not be the most glamorous pick. I think that's a pick that can help you win some leagues the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you talking about, man? I want Tyler Lockett.
You've declined every Tyler Lockett.
I just want him for a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
That's all. Like a 3rd-round pick should do it. You know what I mean? All right, good stuff. Another guy here I just want to point out, Corey Davis at the 10.6.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of potential value there for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to get to upgrade at quarterback. I think Corey Davis is going to be the one out there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's definitely I think a chance I would have been willing to take there. And then looking down the list here, one other guy I really like here at 13.9 is going to be McCole Hardman. I mean, I just going to say it over and over again. I mean, Tyreek, Kelsey, these guys are getting a little older. Right as Patrick Mahomes is going to be going into his prime, it's going to be with a different set of weapons. I don't know who they're going to be. This guy might be, his number one, and that's a chance I'm willing to take every day of the week. So, all right, they're going to move on to the last page here, popping up on your screen. I just want to know any sleepers you guys see. Anybody liking this last group?
I got one name I got to shout out. People have said I've been wrong about him, but I say not wrong, just early. I think this is finally the year Christian Kirk, surges to some fantasy relevance. I know A.J. Green comes in, but I don't expect A.J. Green to get a ton of targets. Larry Fitzgerald is expected to retire. So Christian Kirk's going to get a lot of slot work. And the slot receiver, I mean, obviously DeAndre Hopkins is the receiver. I want that offense. But the slot receiver in that offense is going to get a lot of targets too, a lot of receptions, a lot of yards after the catch. I really love his future with Kyler Murray. On top of that, he's going to be a free agent after this year. So he's either going to get a long-term extension in Arizona or he's going to get a chance to go somewhere that truly wants him. So I think he's a good buy right now going into the last year of his rookie deal. He's disappointed a lot of people, but I think this is the year Christian Kirk is, a solid wide receiver too.
Yeah, I like that take a lot. There's a few that I like, but the one that sticks out to me the most, I think, is the very last one, Alan Lazard, who I thought he was excellent last year when he played. And he'd had an injury kind of break up his season. I think he would have been a lot higher on this list had he not gotten hurt. But, big physical guy. He can get you the touchdowns. And he got targeted a decent amount, and as we've seen from the Packers, they don't seem too interested in adding another receiver to go with Devontae Adams. So I'm going to go with the guy that's actually there right now.
Yeah, I like him, Mr. Irrelevant here.
Yeah.
Alan Lazard. I'll be honest, I picked him up in quite a few Dynasty leagues last year. There was a point, after a couple of weeks, I'm like, wait a minute, man. I got a borderline wide receiver one here.
I started him pretty consistently.
Yeah, it was coming.
Him and Fulgham for that little stretch were just the two gems.
Amazing. And then one other thing I'll point out, I think it's pretty cool to get the Perryman and Quintez Cephas.
Yeah.
You get Detroit's 1 and 2, I believe.
Yeah, I know they have Tyrell Williams too, but I mean,
I'm thinking they're 1 and 2, kind of at the end of a draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. One other little shout out, Tim Patrick. He's a guy, I just saw something on Instagram or something the other day, just highlighting his story. Just super improbable. Basically a nobody coming in the NFL, and last year was just super efficient in the opportunities he has. I know he's behind Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, but Tim Patrick's a guy he's a deep sleeper. I like.
All right. Yep.
Yeah, I like that too.
All right, guys, that's it. That's going to wrap up this edition. I appreciate you so much for watching. As always, if you could hit the like and subscribe button, come be a part of the Masters family. If you're looking for a place to play Dynasty football, we got over 600 leagues. We also have orphan teams for sale. Visit us at mastersfantasyfootballleagues.com. Top of the page, you'll see the orphan link. Good way to get into one of our Dynasty leagues, half price. The previous owners paid your deposit, so you don't have to worry about that. With that said, thanks for watching. Any last words, guys?
That's all I got.
Good stuff.